Hi guys, just a pre-warning about this video. I will explain everything in a bit. This is going to be a quite long video. You will understand why if you decide to watch it. To watch it without skipping. If you are looking just for the right information or for the correct information or the most important bits, just skip the video. But I really hope you enjoy the entire video. Hi, this video today is going to be about mileage correction, and before I'll go through this, I'd like to point something out here. I have another video about traffic mileage correction as well, and I got a few messages about the legality of such work, and yeah guys, it's correct. Obviously it's not legal to change the mileage, but as per the title of the video, and as I already mentioned it, this is a mileage correction. It's not a mileage changing. I do not do mileage changing, full stop. I've done many mileage corrections like I'm going to demonstrate now. They all had a reason. If someone knocking on my door asking me to take miles off any car, I will not do it. Now, I do this because I know what happened and my conscience tells me I'm okay to do this. So what happened in this case is, on this car, so that just sorry guys for deviating a little bit from this video, but the other video you saw me doing about the Renault traffic mileage correction, what happened on that car was that the cluster was faulted. Okay, so some of, I believe, was the speedo stopped working. So this bloke bought another speedo, and it just asked me to fit the new speedo and to obviously correct the mileage for whatever the car was with, which I did. So I knew why the work was done, and I knew was nothing wrong with it. I've done many after that. I've never recorded them because I've been thinking how to put this across in a video to make sure you guys don't get this the wrong way. Don't think I'm doing anything that I shouldn't be doing. This time is the car I'm doing is a Smart Fortwo. You guys might recognize this little speedo. Yeah. So it's a Smart Fortwo. Actually, I have here the case of the SAM, which I'm going to show you. So it's a Smart Fortwo, and this is a 2003 model. Now, I've opened everything, guys. I'm not going to take you through the process of how to take these off, but it's quite simple. There's no screws for the SAM. There's a few screws though for this. To open the SAM is a little bit tricky. There's a few latches that you need to open. You need to be careful because you have these ribbon cables here, sort of. It's a little bit weird to take it off, and there's some soldering to do, because to access the chip we want, which is this one over there, this MCU, we actually need to detach this PCB out. So I'm gonna have to take all this solder off to detach this, but I'll take you through that in a sec. And obviously, to open the cluster is that simple. I think there's one little screw at the back, that, and everything else is latches. So you just need to force it to release all the parts. So the mileage on this car is recorded in two places. Is on the SAM and is recorded on the dash. If you do change the mileage just on one of these, this actually is the most complicated bit to do, because we are talking about an MCU. It's not a EEPROM, so it's a little bit more tricky to read and to work with. The EEPROM is open already. This is the front of the cluster, so the needle would be somewhere here, and the chip we are looking for is that one over there. I'm gonna try to see if we can focus and show you the chip. Yeah, it's not very good. I don't know if you can, so I'm gonna try to stay still. I don't know if you can read that, 93C66. So that is where the mileage is recorded on the dash, okay? Now, once we have changed the mileage here, this is where we're gonna change the mileage. What we need to do is blank the mileage on this. We don't need to know what to record in there. All we need to is know where the mileage is and put it all blanks. And what happens is, as soon as you turn the ignition on first time, the SAM will check the mileage against the cluster, and we will transfer that mileage into there. And that's it, as simple as that. Now, to take that off, obviously, is quite easy. You just need to give it a little bit of heat with your hot air gun. I usually tend to clean the pads first, take any excess of solder, and then use that just with a little bit of heat, and will pop out. So we'll take this off. This one, and like I was saying earlier, is a little bit more tricky. So what we're gonna have to do first is detach this PCB here. Okay, so we're gonna have to remove this. To remove this, I'm gonna have to take all this solder off on this, so this actually comes out. Okay, so let's gonna see where we are now. So there is, so the chip, the EEPROM has been removed now. I usually write somewhere around it the chip that was in there, and it's not so much about what the chip, which chip was that I write it down, because obviously I know which one is I usually write on the same orientation as the letters on the chip, so I know the orientation of the chip. You're gonna see that maybe for you makes sense that this is the orientation of the board, but sometimes you find the chips, the letters on the chips are upside down. So what I do is I always write the chip number somewhere around it with the same orientation as the letters when the chip was soldered. So I know the 93C66 will have to be read on the chip on the same orientation as that, so when I put it back. Okay? If you do not do this and you forget about it, you can always get the pin out of the chip, the 93C66, get the pin out, see where the grounds are, and look for the grounds on the PCB, and you'll easily figure out where the orientation of the chip. So, but for now, we're gonna stop with this because this is finished for now. On this side, obviously, as you can see, I've removed all the solders. So the board, I had the board out, but the board now slides out. Okay, and what we're looking for is this here. Try to focus this. Okay, you can't really see a lot, but is this Motorola MC 9S12DG256C, I believe. But the mask code is what you're looking for, 2K79XX. So this is what you're looking for. So here, inside this MCU, obviously the MCU has a EEPROM inside of it, and that's what we're going to try to read to then blank the mileage. So guys, so the one I'm going to do first is going to be the dash. So in this case I'm going to use CarProg for the simple reason that CarProg, it will calculate the mileage and everything automatically. Okay, I roughly know what. So basically, let me go to change this. I've checked already. Now let's gonna go one step at a time. So the dashboard that I've shown you in there is the donor dashboard. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is, and yes, I could just swap the chips straight from one to the next, but for the purpose of this video I'd prefer to show you how to do it like this. So anyway, so this is the chip, the 90C93. You can't really see in there, but the chip is indeed at the end of the pliers. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to open CarProg. Just wait a second. Okay, so we go dashboard, we go Smart Fortwo video 96. Okay, so because it's all connected, so there's 3 cables you can use, but I'm going to use this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the kilometers or the miles. I believe that is in kilometers, but so there you go. So 216,404. So this is the original mileage. Okay, and what we're going to do is, so this, if I try to read the EEPROM, so the mileage, just out of curiosity, the mileage is the first 2 lines. Okay, so 94 E5. Okay, so what we're going to do, just to confirm, so you can have a look, it's going to go here. So I have it selected already. It's going to put 2, 1. Oh guys, you can't see on this because of the glare, isn't it? It's a CRT. 6404. So what I've done is I put the mileage in there. That is there. So to see if these 94 E5 matches, and you can see in there is E5 95. So it's slightly different on 1 byte, and yes, it could make a big difference sometimes, but I would take this as correct. So I'll take this as correct. E5 95. So obviously the bytes are swapped. So if I would have to swap the bytes, so would give me E5 94. So these is swapped bytes, but yeah. So that's the mileage in there. So that's the mileage is correct. So what I'm going to do is I want to put down, okay, because that is the mileage, the original mileage. It's 91. 1, 2, 3 is 91,000. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write. Hang on. First, let's gonna save this. Hang on. It's gonna save a backup of this file. Okay, save this on the desktop. Save. So now we're gonna write 91,000, and I've checked already. Hang on, I've checked. I think it was 92. But it's gonna put 91123. Let's see what Taco Soft tells me. So I should have for 91,000 F4 E4. So this actually is going to be a swapped byte, so it's going to be E4 F4. So let's gonna see if I write this. I'm gonna write this kilometers, yeah. Okay, so that's done. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into EEPROM. So you see it's still the old. Can't really see very well, but it's still the old dump in here. So that's gonna read and see if that comes up with E4 F4. Let's gonna swap E4 F4. So it actually came out just like before. I think you can see that it came up with E3 F4. So I would say E3, then you have, yeah, E3 F4. So I would say this is correct. For some reason it's slightly different calculation, so maybe a kilometer, maybe from kilometers to miles. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the kilometers again, the mileage again. So let's going to read to see what it brings up again. There we go, and it brings up 91,000. It actually tells me it's 91,008, so probably that is the difference on that last byte. So I'm happy with the cluster. So the cluster is done, and just before we go, we're gonna save a copy of this EEPROM, and I'm gonna look for the last one I've saved. Just change that to 91. So change that to 91, 1, 2, 3. So let's gonna save a copy of this. So this is done. So the dash is done. Now what we need to do is obviously then clear the mileage in here. Now this is usually a little bit more tricky, and I will be, but what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna decide which programmer I'm gonna use, and we'll go from there. Right guys, so the MCU is now connected. I'm gonna use Xprog to do this, for the simple reason that is gonna be easier for me to do with Xprog. So it's all connected, as you can see. So there's a few solderings I need to do. There's a few wires I need to solder, as you can see in there. The Xprog will give you all the schematics anyway to do this. And I've read already the chip, which is there. So, and the line we need to change is the one I've selected, which is the line 08FO. And what we need to change is, we need to change the first 6 bytes to Fs, then leave 3 bytes and do the remaining ones on that line all to Fs. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. So basically what that means is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So up to 39, that's the mileage. And then you leave 3, and then I need to do everything else again. As you can see, there you go, all that to Fs as well. Okay, we're gonna do that now. Before that, I'm gonna save a copy. Sorry guys, it's difficult to record with the phone. So I'm gonna save a copy of this. So save and desktop, and that's gonna put in there Smart. Look at that, 216,000, but we're gonna put in there MCU space. It's gonna save. That's it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put all the F's in there. Okay, and then we're gonna, so 1, 2, 6. That's correct. 1. I'm gonna do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I've done 7 here. So 6. What we're gonna do is gonna do this. Gonna fill the buffer. Gonna fill with F's. So all F's. Now we're gonna leave 3 bytes empty. We're gonna select all the other ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 now. Okay. We're gonna fill the buffer again with all F's. And now we're gonna write back the file. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the device, make sure that comes up exactly the same. So I'm going to read the device, and that all that line should come up with F's again. Okay, so let's gonna see F. So 8FO. So something didn't went quite right, so we'll have to do this again. Hi people. Right, this is another day where I'm carry on doing this. I've never finished to do that in that day. You don't need to know that on the video, but I'm just mentioning it. Basically, it didn't work, as you saw. I couldn't put the information, load the information back on a chip. This is why, guys, sometimes you need to. It's very difficult to sometimes get this right first time. Basically, the way. I had to redo all this again. I had to look for more information about it on my files and on my softwares, and basically the way Xprog was telling me to connect the chip was not working for some reason. So I went to another approach. So as you can see, it's not even connected on the chip itself as I was doing it before. So this is another way to connect. You can find this information on a little software called NYO, I believe. Is that the name? Yeah, NYO. You find this information in there. I can actually show you in there. So that's how it tells you to connect. And I took this approach, and it worked first time. I was also giving you a little bit of wrong information. I'm going to show you that is working. Now, obviously, on my last video, well, it's not the last video, it's part of this video, but I could actually edit and cut that out. But I think it's not just about to show you my success, it's actually to show you as well when things go wrong. We all fail. I fail. Not always things go right first time, and this was a very good example of it. So anyway, so as you can see, and I'm actually gonna load, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to find a better way to record these videos, but I'm gonna show you here let me, oh damn it, I've overwrite the file. I have overwrite the file. I can't really show you, but if you go back on the video, you're gonna be able to see the beginning of this file. So this is the dump of the EEPROM from the MCU, and if I'm gonna bring it all the way up, and these guys is the beginning. It's all Y's down, so it's all F's. So the chip is actually empty. The EEPROM is empty here, and this is the beginning of the file. Now if you go back on my video where I was reading the chip straight on the pins, you're gonna see the beginning of the file is nothing to do with this. It's completely different, and the actually data starts on the line 800. That is where the data starts. And just go back, guys, I'm repeating myself, go back and you're going to see that it's completely different. Now I'm going to read the chip, and you're going to see it doesn't fail. So I'm going to read, press read in there, see my mouse, there, I'm going to press read. So he's reading the chip, and you're going to see, oh, why it failed. Well, let me cancel this, let me try again. Sometimes you have these things, but oh, it's failing now for some reason. So let me have a look at the line 800. Yeah, the data is okay now. Ah, this is weird. Just read the chip without any failures. Let me have a look. So it's changed slightly the data, but nothing major really. But obviously, when I first read the chip, it read straight away with no problems. Anyway, I've changed what I need to change, which I'm going to show you because I was giving wrong information as well. He read the chip. Oh, there we go. You see, he read the chip just fine now with no failures, as you can see. Okay, so there we go. And the data you need to change, I was giving wrong information, guys. Is what you need to change is these 3 bytes here in the middle. I was telling you to change all these, leave the 3, and then change the last 7. No, that's wrong. What you need to do is put zeros or Fs. I put down zeros, doesn't make a difference. I put down zeros on these 3 bytes here. These are the ones you need to change. Leave everything else alone. So I just read the chip, and as you can see, it comes up with all zeros. I'm actually going to load the original reading, original dump. Open. So that's the one. Open. So this is the file I've read before I've done this change. I'm gonna bring it down to the line 8F0 8F0. Oh, I think I saved it already after change. Damn it. Anyway, anyway, in there was some numbers in there, so I think I've saved the file after I've done the change. Okay, fair enough. Whatever. But yeah, guys. So yeah, so that is the 3 bits you need to change. Okay. I'm making this video too long, with no reason for it. So yeah, so we're gonna put everything back on the car, and let's gonna see what happens. See if the mileage came down now to 91,000. So the SAM is back in place underneath there. Okay, the cluster is just plugged in there, and I'm gonna connect the battery. So this is the first time. Let's gonna see what happens. So when I connect the battery, so that's okay. It comes up with 91,000. Now, the serious is, or the most important is, when I turn the ignition on, is that the SAM is not going to change that. Okay. So that is in the wrong position probably. That's why he's doing that. But I can sort that out later. So, turn the ignition on. Now I'm going to turn the ignition off. I need to sort that needle. It's definitely in the wrong position. Obviously, that's why he's doing that. Let's put it right. So let's gonna turn the ignition on again. Damn it. Let's get that sorted. Anyway, let's gonna check the mileage now. So how many miles I have in there. Damn it, it's changed back. So as you can see, something's not right. So it's changed the mileage back to 216. So back again. This car has been really pain in the ass. Right, as you saw, once again, I haven't edited the video. I've shown you the failure where the mileage came back to 216,000. Now I went back and obviously I've changed the cluster again, and I went into the BSI, or the SAM, sorry. I went back on the SAM. So I've dumped the SAM again, and all this is a learning. You learn for all your life, man. And what I've done is, I had in the past cases where the mileage is actually stored in more than one place inside the dump. So what I've done this time is, while I went back, I've looked again on the line 8F0, the one I've showed you, and the mileage was back. I think the number was 91. I can't remember. Go back and have a look, guys, because I can't remember now. But I think it was 91 D304, something like that. Anyway, so those 3 bytes were back. They were back to the 2016. So what I've done then is, I've used the search tool to look for those 3 bytes again, repeated, the same 3 bytes, and I found them in one other place inside the dump. So basically the mileage was stored in 2 different lines, and because I've only changed one, everything just reverted back straight away, obviously. So what I've done is, this time I've changed both to zeros or Fs, whatever you want to put in there. Well, Fs or zeros, sorry, it's not whatever you want to put in there, Fs or zeros. I'll put zeros anyway. So the other line is the line C50. So that's the other line where the mileage is actually stored. So I've just plugged everything back again, and I really hope it works this time, because, oh god. Right, so let's gonna connect the battery back on. Okay, so back to 91. I'm gonna leave everything on for a couple of minutes, for a few seconds, sorry. And I'm gonna turn the key on. So let's gonna put the key, and let's gonna see what happens now. Okay, gonna leave it on. So if there's anything to be done, is done already. I'm gonna turn the key off, take the key out, keys in my hands, key back on, and look, let's gonna flick through the mileage. Where's the button? Damn it, can't get to the button now. The button's not here. Oh gosh, where do I press? Where do I press? It's right there at the back. Let me get a small screwdriver. That's gonna press the button. There we go, guys. 91,000 still. Yes, finally. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video and you have learned something. I definitely have learned something this time with this car. It was one of the most difficult ones I had so far. I couldn't find the right information online, or even online. But on my documentation, I couldn't really find nothing. And finally, job sorted, job done. Guys, thank you for watching. I'm really pleased that I've showed you that I fail as well. So obviously, as you've seen, was not easy, was hard work, but it paid off. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoy it. I know it's a long video, but well, there we go. Thank you so much, guys. Cheers. Thank you for watching.